Eto na mga boss, kakapasok lang na balita. Grabe si PBBM, ginulat si Marcoleta. Nayinig dito ang Senado, buong mundo ang nagulat. Base sa impormasyong kumakalat ngayon sa social media, tinakot-takot ni Senador Rodante Marcoleta ang mga may-ari ng gas station para isisi ang lahat sa Pangulo kung bakit hanggang sa June na lang ang supply ng gasolina matapos siyang banatan ni Jose Claire Castro. Iwasan ni Marcoleta ang pagpapakalat ng fake news. Hindi ito panahon ng pamumulitika dahil hindi rin naman ito ginusto ni BBM kung bakit nagtaas ng presyo ang lahat. Pero nagulat si Senador Rodante Marcoleta, nakadiskubre na si BBM ng langis. Nakahanap na siya ng supply, hindi na kailangan pang bumili, meron na tayong sariling mapagkukunan ng gasolina. Hindi na tayo kukuha pa sa Middle East kahit may stock pa ang Pilipinas. Mabuti pa si BBM patuloy ang paghahanap, hindi katulad ni Marcoleta, putak lang ng putak. Naghahanap talaga kasi si PBBM ng alternative sources sa langis matapos niyang ideklara ang pagsuspende sa excise tax ng fuel para pababain na ang presyo. Pinakauna ang Pilipinas sa gumawa nito. Kaya ito sabay-sabay natin panoorin kung paano si President Bongbong Marcos, grabe, ginulat si Senador Rodante Marcoleta. Nayanig dito ang Senado, buong mundo ang nagulat. Tara, panoorin natin to.
Yes. Kung ako pong tatanungin nyo, ayoko pong dito tayo humantong. Kasi last resort na po ito, Mr. Chair. Parang napakalaki na ng problema ng ating bansa. Kapag ito po ang ginamit na natin. At ang katambal nga yung Executive Order 839. Ito naman po ay pinangatawanan ng Supreme Court sa kasong binanggit ko kanina.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, kung ganito po yung senaryo ang sinasabi nila, at ito nga pinangangambahan na ng chairman, maski po ako talagang kinakabahan na rin. Baka May, sabi niya, May Day na. Paano ngayon ito? Paano kayo papasok kung ganun halimbawa yung senaryo yung sinasabi nila? Meron po ba kayong nakalaan na mechanism kung paano natin gagamitin ang available na batas na para sa inyo?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question, Mr. Chair. Would also like to thank the Senator for bringing out the limitations because it is important that we emphasize the need for balancing. And even in the local level, we emphasize that balancing. Meaning, pag sobra yung supplies natin sa lokal, mali po yun. Pag kulang naman po, mali din yun. Paano po natin may iwasan yung mga kamalian? Una-una po, yung behavior nating lahat is not only on the supply, but also on the demand. We have to regularly go about with our business, considering that even if we say na hanggang May lang siya, tandaan po natin ang cycle ng pag-order. It's around 2 weeks. At na-emphasize po natin 2 days ago that we have sufficient supply considering na almost puno yung ating mga storage facilities. So, may kailangan ba tayong mangamba? Kung nakikita po natin yung nangyayari sa Middle East na wala pang linaw, mangangamba po tayo doon. Pero kung meron po ba tayong solusyon? Meron po tayong solusyon. 14E is indeed extreme, but it always gives, it is the wisdom of Congress and the law to give that strategy as a last resort to government for protection of everyone. Not only of the consumers, but also for business. So, yun po yung ine-emphasize ng Department of Energy. Now, with this declaration from the President, we have scenarios precisely to avoid that grim scenario na mas nagkakaroon ng leeway ang Department of Energy. But we can tackle first what happened before that. So, we were talking to the oil companies of trying to see how we can assist them. But we also emphasize the proper behavior on the supply side. There should be no favoritism of gasoline stations in the distribution locally. There should be no hoarding for the gasoline stations so that it will be available for all our consumers. There should also be no hoarding for our consumers because at the end of the day, the balance will be distorted if there will be a problem on the supply, on the behavior of the suppliers, and a problem of the consumers on the demand side. We have also been calling for energy efficiency, and we have called for all these strategies, coordinating with the local chief executives, coordinating with the chiefs of police. Now, when Uplift convenes, we will have...
Mr. Chair, can we be more specific, sir? Because emergency nga ang sinasabi nila eh. Ako naman sabi ko parang wala akong makitang emergency, but the other side is talking about a grim scenario. So kung halimbawa talagang meron ng grim scenario, ano bang gagawin ng DOE? For example, para lang magkaintindihan tayo, can DOE, for example, issue a show cause order?
Yes.
Nag-yes ka kagad, hindi mo pa
Ay, sorry.
tinatanong. For example, can the DOE issue a show cause order to stations, for example, gas stations, that implement price hikes beyond what is qualified or what is justified by MAPs? Kasi kunyari, tanggapin natin merong MAPs or Argus averages. Kasi ang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, kanina tinanong ko, wala naman sumagot isa man sa mga oil companies. After 2 weeks, inventaryo pa yung binebenta nila. How come biglang nagtaas ng ganun? Meron ba kayong ginawa para check-in the justification? Reasonable ba yung pagtaas? I already computed 3 billion gross income per day. Do you think that is justified? Do you think that is reasonable? Anong ginawa ng DOE para tingnan yon? Ang inventaryo nila is 50 to 60 days eh. So ang ibig ko sabihin, can DOE also, siguro, short of legislation, kasi sabi naman ng batas eh, in times of emergency, when national interest requires, can you mandate the oil companies, for example, to itemize? The word is unbundle their costs, no? Starting from the base international price, no, the MAPs, the Platts, the Argus, yung freight, yung insurance, and the profit margins. National emergency ito eh. And then can you mandate them to maintain a larger physical stock of buffer against sudden and real global spikes so that we can reduce the immediate replacement cost? Kasi sinasabi natin, Mr. Chair, magbebenta sila 120% more using the replacement cost. Can we justify that? Starting from the DOE, anong gagawin nyo? The oil companies will use the replacement cost kahit hindi naman kailangan because the inventory was still there. The DOE is not doing anything. So the law is very clear. Under emergency situation when the public interest requires it. Ito yung tinatanong namin sa inyo. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Are you requesting DOE to respond? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Let me clarify. We have heard from the previous meeting and also today that the DOE has done a lot. So can the DOE issue show cause orders? Yes, it can. Because that is the one that triggers the discussion on the reasonableness. Kung merong complaint ang ating mga kababayan, pinapag-explain natin yung ating mga gasolinahan para ma-validate kung meron nga bang profiteering, kung meron nga bang hoarding na nangyayari. So, meron po ba tayong ginawa doon? Yes, and I have mentioned that in the previous hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
So
Chairman.
happy to.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, yes, Senator Makino.
Mr. Chairman, ang data na binabanggit ni Senator Marcoleta, no, kung totoo po ay mahalaga talaga. Can we ask DOE para po, matagal pa po tayo dito, maybe we can talk to the staff of Senator Marcoleta, some of the industry players. We can go on the side and tingnan natin kung option ba talaga to para makita natin kung yung veracity nitong data na to, no, please.
Actually, Mr. Chair, I approached some of the members of the Senate staff.
Yusek, please sit down.
Can you give Director Abad? Can you sit down in this chair so that
Actually, Mr. Chair, we already approached the Senate staff so that we can compare and check the computation, looking into the details, including but not limited to the conversions.
if this if the information and the supplier of Senator Marcoleta is true and existing, then I think that will be fantastic for our country kasi mababa yung presyo, no? So I think it's to the best interest of DOE to check it ASAP. Now we'll give you the materials in a while.
Can we ask for official position from the DOE before the end of the hearing? I mean, matagal-tagal pa naman tayo dito, Yusek Wimpy, no? Can we look at the data, please, maybe with some of our industry players and get a formal answer before the end of the day?
We have an initial position already, but we just want to have it validated. Thank you.
So lastly, we call on Mr. Collado of Jet Petroleum.
I'm sorry, sir. We have an initial position, not official. Initial position already.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Collado. Or Mr. Asioche.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Thank you for inviting us here. Insofar as JET is concerned, we also have the same problems with the other oil companies, like the difficulty in procuring the supply. That is our number one focus right now. Now it's been getting tighter and tighter as the war drags on. Fortunately, we have kept all our stations open. They are still adequately supplied. So wala pa po nagsasara sa aming network of stations. Okay? We have about 20 plus days for supply right now. This is on-site. It means that what is kept already on our depots. Now we have some orders coming in, and so far only one vessel so far that we can confirm. No, in transit, it's already in transit. Some are still loading, so until that has been loaded and coming in, we cannot still confirm how the volume of that vessel. Okay, so far that's what I can say for now. Thank you.
Sir
Thank
Chair,
you, Mr. Asioche. Yes.
Saan po kayo nagpapaload?
Sir, good morning. Dito lang po, we only load in sa East Asia. So,
Saan nga po?
Apo, Malaysia, China, South Korea mostly. Sir, we only import finished goods po. Finished product.
Kasi po kung bibili pa kayo sa South Korea, siyempre iba-iba ng layer yun. Ang sinasabi ko, dumirekta po kayo sa mga tangke na nandun sa Singapore. Kanina ko pa nga po sinasabi yun. Bakit nga po ayon yung tingnan yun? Kasi po, kung doon tayo nakapokus, there is no problem to speak of in the first place. Kapag napatunayan po na tama yung data. Hindi po ba?
Sir, I believe Singapore has ceased all exports.
Ano po?
Singapore has ceased all exports.
Hindi nga po, kung ma-check po ninyo yung datang sinasabi ko, I can give you even a name to contact.
Sir, okay. Thank you very much. We would like to get that data.
Yeah, well, we'll request Senator Marcoleta to give us the information of that supplier. Siguro kailangan na natin siya ngayon. No? To be honest about it, after hearing the statements of the oil companies, medyo na-depress po ako dahil parang hanggang May na lang tayo. After May, tama po ba? Hanggang April pala, until end of April.
Wait lang mga boss, kung nakaabot na kayo sa part ng video na to, baka gusto nyo munang mag-subscribe sa bago nating YouTube channel. Doon na kasi tayo mag-upload ng mga reaction videos. Nakapin sa comment section ang link. I-click nyo lang para makapag-subscribe. Pag nakapag-subscribe na kayo, i-comment nyo lang ang location nyo para ma-shoutout ko kayo pag nag-upload na tayo doon ng video. Tara, tuloy na natin to.
After end of April, parang
For Petron, it's up to the end of May.
end of May for Petron, but the others is until end of April, correct?
We're continuing to work on getting more supply week
Yeah.
in and week
But
out.
what I wanted to hear is certainty. na merong supply papasok. No? And after hearing all of the comments, ang narinig ko is uncertainty. No? After April, after May, and it's quite concerning because you cannot run a country with uncertainty of fuel supply. No? You cannot run businesses with uncertainty of fuel supply. No? So with that, we will drill down on those details later on, and will allow our senators now to propound their questions. Senator Marcoleta, since you came in early, you have 10 minutes, unless you have already asked all your questions.
Now, we are now in an emergency.
Yun.
But the oil companies, as you have heard them, they raise their prices even if the inventory is still there. I already computed it. Hindi ko na uulitin, Mr. Chair. The gross income approximately using this replacement cost is 3 billion pesos per day.
Ngayon, bumalik po tayo, nabanggit ni Senator Marcoleta kanina, yung replacement cost. Kung sino man ahensya ng gobyerno ang sasagot nito, it would be perhaps DOE, my friend Yusek Wimpy again, or would it be DOF? Simple. Tama ba na yung replacement cost method in pricing allows the oil companies to impose the current world prices despite their present stocks? Alam ko, ito'y napag-usapan, narinig ko, pero parang hindi ba maliwanag yung sagot? At ano pang ibang mga maaring paraan or viable methods bilang alternatibo dito para yung pass-on sa mga consumers ay hindi immediate or hindi mangyari. So, gusto kong maintindihan yan dahil nung March 9, ang DOE ang nagpaliwanag tungkol dito sa lumang stock. Sabi nga nila, replacement cost. Kahit dumating na dito ang presyo ay hindi price ng date of delivery, pero yung practice daw, kinocompute yung historical average at ina-assume na yung cost sa pagbili ng bagong stock. Yun yung sinabi ng DOE bilang paliwanag sa basis ng replacement cost. So, gusto ko pong maintindihan ito dahil sa pagsaliksik ko naman ay hindi dapat ginagamit ang replacement cost. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, because my Supreme Court decision na nagsabi, na nag-rule na yung replacement cost is an invalid substitute for fair value and is almost meaningless number in the economic and accounting sense. The use of replacement cost as a methodology for computing the value of assets, goods, and services has been shunned by the Supreme Court. So, pakipaliwanag po,
Mention the GR number, the case.
babanggitin ko yung GR number, hindi ko na sana, ito, 226443, GR number.
Case.
Saan yung case? I have the GR 226443.
It's National Association of Electric Consumers for Reforms Incorporated
Yes.
versus ERC.
Yes. So, since Yusek Fuentebalia knows this, paliwanag po nyo yung replacement cost ba? Okay, since you went on the microphone, Yusek Wimpy, you can explain. Because it was a DOE that explained the replacement cost in behalf or justifying. So in short, yung stocks na bili nung hindi nung krisis, ibang presyo. Pero, nung dumating yung krisis, may stock na siya sa dating presyo, pero inaakma sa presyo na tumaas sa world prices dahil daw bibili naman nila yung kapalit sa mahal na presyo sa mga darating na linggo. So, ang sagot muna ng DOE, ang gusto ko marinig, tapos DTI or DOF, pwede ba kayong sumagot? At PNOC at ang pribadong sektor. DOE muna. Please answer. Yusek Fuentebalia.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, I'm not certain of the replacement cost as practiced before the electricity and that of the oil companies. But, okay.
Konsepto ito. At saka, I am quoting the DOE, Yusek Wimpy. It was yung secretary mo na wala dito ngayon ang nagsabi, and I quote, kaya nga sinabi ko na hindi namin statement to. It's the replacement cost. Kahit dumating na dito ang crudo, ang presyo niyan ay hindi price ng date of delivery, pero as a practice now, we compute the historical average of the week. Yun ang ina-assume na cost na pagbili ng bagong stock. So, yun po ay quotation po, ayon po sa DOE, kaya kayo po ang pinakamataas na representante dito, my good friend Yusek Wimpy, pakipaliwanag po para maintindihan po naming lahat. Kasi may computation of distribution rates then, and the Supreme Court said, and I quote, "It is difficult to justify and almost irrational to use the replacement cost in the valuation of the asset base of utilities." Anyway, alam mo yan, you're a lawyer, you would know this. So, gusto natin maintindihan kung pinagbabawal pa ng Supreme Court yung replacement cost issue, pero yun ang ginawang justification o dahilan po ng DOE sa pagtaas ng presyo.
Yeah.
Oo.
As
DOE first and then DOF? Yeah, then the private sector. Thank you.
So thank you very much for the question, ma'am. So number one, as I mentioned, it's an electricity case that was decided by the Supreme Court. So how it differs from the oil companies, I have to study further. Number two, okay. So second, ma'am, the way I understand the practice, whether or not it is fair that if there will be lower prices at that was purchased, no, yung sabihin natin.
Sorry, you'll answer later. Wait. While the Supreme Court case was on electricity, the DOE position, as I read into the record, was used. Ginamit po yun ng DOE, ang inyong sekretarya, para po ipaliwanag yung replacement cost at presyo ng oil companies. So, yun po ang gusto kong i-address po yung sagot. Hindi po ako nagsasabi na ito sa kuryente, hindi ito pwedeng ma-apply dito, ginamit na po ng inyong departamento. Thank you.
I recall the answer of the secretary utilizing the replacement cost as a concept in explaining what is happening. So the way I understand it po, because I'm not the accountant, no? Yung week 1, nag-purchase sila halimbawa ng 100 pesos per item. And then week 2, naging 150 pesos po yun. So, ang binibenta nila on week 2, pero nandun na sa kanila yung stocks. For week 1 na binayaran ng 100, binibenta po nila, basis nila is 150, plus yung may income sila ng konti, no? Or meron silang margin na tinatawag nila. Pero pag bumaba naman po, for week 2, 150, binili naman nila yung pang-replace. Tapos week 3, naging 100. So, bibenta nila yung kanilang produkto sa 100 at week 3 plus marginal cost. So, yun po yung situation during normal business operations. Ang sinasabi po ng Department of Energy, we may need to tweak or have something in the middle because the increase is for gasoline, it went to almost 99% or 100%, and sa diesel po, almost 150%. So yun po yung kakaiba na tinitingnan natin. And yun rin po yung naging basis ng Department of Energy to talk to the oil companies on whether they can give more discounts because of that very high discrepancy. What is probably also hindering them from giving more discounts because mataas nga po talaga, so magbabakbakan sila sa ground kung paano nila gagawin yon, is their uncertainty of getting more supply because the supply from 150 may increase or decrease depending on the statements of the President of the United States or the statements or what's happening on the ground. So there are a lot of speculation by the hour. Yun po.
Ang interpretasyon nyo nung March 9 statement ng inyong kawani. Pero ang tingin ko po, hindi pa to... Oo hindi ba to unfair sa ating mga consumers? Wala pang pagtaas ng mga binili, pero tinataas at sinisingil na sa consumers. Hindi naman po tayo insurer ng risk ng mga pribadong kumpanya. I just feel it's unfair kasi binili naman yon sa regular na presyo, hindi naman sa panahon ng krisis nung mataas na. Hindi naman tayo insurer ng risk Yun ang risk ng pribadong sektor. Nagkaroon ng February 28 na surprise attack Pero, so, yun ang position ninyo. So, in short, sang-ayon po at dinedefend po ng DOE yung pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin na binili ng murang presyo nung wala pa yung gera. So, yes, Yusek Wimpi.
Not necessarily, ma'am. Because what we mentioned is we only explained how business operates under normal circumstances. In fact, the position of the DOE is if we have very extraordinary circumstance, we may have to tweak the oil deregulation law because what the DOE is doing is asking oil companies to have more discounts and the like, no? Yung sinasabing gradual or staggered price increases because we have computed na sobrang laki nga po ng diferensya ng pagbili sa week 1 to week 2. So yun po yung napag-usapan and we submitted that position as well that we may need to tweak under extraordinary circumstances po.
Meron ng provision, di ba? Anyway, I won't get to that. So, kung ang oil companies, and I will give you a chance to explain, if the oil companies are quick to apply the higher prices due to the so-called concept of replacement cost, ang DOE ba may pag-uugnayan, koordinasyon sa kanila para ganun din kabilis ibaba pag ang world market naman dips in prices, di ba? Ang bilis kasi ginamit yung replacement cost. Pag bumaba naman ang world price, hopefully soon, kung mangyayari, anong koordinasyon o mekanismo ang ginagawa ng pamahalaan ng gobyerno to protect naman the consumer? Mabilis pagtaas, pagbaba ng world prices. Ano ang inyong mekanismo?
So under the law right now, yung price is deregulated. Now, ang ginagawa ng Department of Energy on the consumer welfare promotion aspect is to make sure that consumers would compare these prices. So yung number one na paraan dyan is the price board. We require na yung price board ay naka-display sa ating mga gasolinahan and it is faithful to what is really being implemented doon sa pump. Number two, we emphasize as well that the price board can be digitalized so there are consumer apps that are available that can compare prices on the app. I mentioned before in some of our conferences with the press that Waze, for example, has that feature na pwedeng pagbiyahe ko from the Senate to the Department of Energy, yung mga gasolinahan doon, pwede ko po siyang makita what are the mas mura and what is mas mahal. And yun po yung paraan para ma-protection natin sila. Because the design under the oil deregulation law is they will be able to compete as to prices. Wherein, doon naman sa quantity at quality, that's where the regulation of the Department of Energy comes in po. So, under extraordinary circumstances, we may need to have something in the middle before we reach Section 14E of the oil deregulation law. Yun po yung parang mga tweaking and probably triggers na dapat makita natin so that there will be no discretion. Yun po yung sinubmit namin.
Sinubmit nyo? Ito na naman tayo, sinubmit ha?
Hindi, yung po
Baka
yung-
sasabihin na naman yung sinubmit tapos break kami
Sinubmit.
kayo.
Hindi naman po.
Sinabmit na gusto nyong reforma
No breaks allowed
sa
ngayon, ma'am.
batas.
Oo.
Reforma?
Opo. Yes po.
Nasaan yung
Reforma.
saan yung sinabmit?
Hindi, yun po yung sa pag-ano natin.
Isasubmit?
Yung po yung talakayan natin 2 days ago. Ganun po siya umikot.
Okay.
Opo.
Pag
Yun
sinabi
po-
nyong sinabmit, pakipaliwanag po
Yeah.
na sinabmit nyo at kanino, sa komite, sa chair, sa... Oo. Submit mo nang officially.
The statements na sinumitin namin
you submit.
during...
Okay,
yeah.
clear. Para maliwanag tayo. Tika, meron daw intervention pero you have my time. Yes. Hello. You said you would intervene. Papayag ako. Konektado po dito.
Thank you, Madam.
Hindi, time ko pa. Pero...
Yes, ma'am.
Opo.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yusek Wimpy, Mr. Chair, I believe I have a fair level of intelligence. But I cannot understand your reasoning when my colleague, Senator Ligardi, is asking you about the concept of replacement cost. Ang sabi mo, it is a practice. Is it a practice or malpractice?
It is the practice during normal circumstances, and we can also ask them to...
Senator Lauren, you have 10 minutes.
Ngayon, ikaw bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento mo sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.